Great. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Long Beach Gives programming for South Coast Interfaith Council. This morning, we are so excited. We have the meditation, the spirituality rather, through meditation, through the Native American practice of Native American spirituality. So here to grace us with his presence and his wonderful, prayers and blessings is Chief Daniel Ramos. And Chief Daniel is amazing. He's been a part of the South Coast Interfaith Council programs for years now. And each time, I'm telling you, we're always so grateful and also so amazed of what he brings to the table for this program. Sometimes it's a blessing of food. Sometimes it's an entire ceremonial prayer by the, outside, actually in nature, by the creek and in the woods. And this morning, I really don't know what he's going to do, but that's what we're going to find out. It's going to be a little bit of a surprise for me, but I'm sure it's going to be absolutely wonderful. I am just going to introduce him briefly as an Indigenous shaman. And because I want him to explain more in full that only he could do, his background and who he is. But I want to get started today also by acknowledging that the land that we're on. I realize that we're on a virtual program, and so we're kind of like in cyberspace, but that's not really true. I mean, every single one of us is on, standing on ground today. And chances are that ground was first inhabited by Indigenous people. And maybe even, that ground was stolen. And so we really want to acknowledge and honor the ground that we're on today. And since we're broadcasting from Long Beach, I know that the tribes involved for Long Beach, we want to honor the Chumash tribe. We want to honor the Kish people, which include the Tonga tribe. So those are, if we could just take a moment to really express our gratitude and appreciation for the people that were, really taking care of the land, and so that we can inhabit it today. And we honor and thank them, and we honor and thank the land that we're on. Thank you very much. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Chief Ramos. Thank you, Chief, for being here today. We're so happy. And I want to say, also that Chief Ramos used to live in, California, and he was local and came to our local in-person events. But now he's moved to Arizona, but we did not lose him, and we're happy that we are having these virtual events so he can join us today. Thank you, Daniel. Go ahead, please.
Palamia, it's a gracious thank you in Lakota. I am Choctaw Muskogee Yamasee. We're three tribe nation. I'm from the four directions, which actually I really strongly feel in my heart that our family of nation here is the prophetic rainbow warrior tribe that people are aware of. And with that introduction, slightly just to who I'm not, but all that I am. I am also called, I've been given the name Squatliaut in the ancient language of Nahuatl, which means eagle warrior. I've also been named by an elder, Tiocuco, from Los Angeles. And he's given me the name Toansin, Cuautli Tonansin, which is eagle that speaks. given the name by the Raven Nation. And a short story, I won't share at the moment, but in ravens hovering over my head out off the road here, we spoke as they were singing and they were sharing and they were calling and swirling around and around. But they gave me the name Eagle that watches over Raven. They're blessed messengers and guardians. I am here in Cottonwood, Arizona. Greetings, family, from the circle of life and the circle of all the sacred hoop. Greetings, Mila. Mila, how good to see you all. And those that are on, and those that are listening, and those that are watching live stream. Don't be fooled by the illusion that this square screen is not a circle. Okay, it's we have in all our prayers many times we've prayed for the capacity, as we always have had the ability to come together in the circle of life. And as Black Elk says, you know, when you bring people together in the circle, that's when the magic happens. So today, as in all days, my life has become a ceremonial walk in this earth walk. I still laugh and dance and sing and have good times. Some people think ceremonial life, oh my goodness, is that like a monk? No, not at all. Ceremonial life has always been in that prayerful state or meditative state, it's that you call. And with that, just so you know, I thank you, Patty, so much, and Cheryl, for helping coordinate and bringing me here for the circle. I've taken the liberty of acknowledging the beautiful circle that is gathered today. So I have brought the fire, the smoke, the shell, sage, and the sacred waters, along with the sky. So here we sit as four sacred elements of life. And I have given the smudging to our circle here. Everyone present is in this good way. Just thought I'd let you know that this is the way we come together. And with that, I know that I'll cover something briefly, bear with me. Patty introduced me today and all this beautiful introduction in the most beautiful way. Thank you so much, Patty. She gives me the acknowledgement as a shaman, the teachings of my elders in the traditional walks of others and other nations. I don't call myself a shaman. I'm a humble elder. I am a chief given to me by my son, my tribal son, Rashid Stone Coyote Patton of our tribe. And with that, I let you know that you see what you see. When the heart sees, the heart then knows. But today, we are all medicine. As to whether or not you may follow a shamanic path, that's a personal decision. I have asked Creator to allow me to stay, and in that, we are going into this meditative presence now. With that, all right. Thank you, Patty, for the acknowledgement. I actually sit on the land of the ancient peoples that are called the Sinawa people, which means in Spanish, without water, because we're out here in the desert. But know that that's not the name of the people. That's the name that the colonizer gave these people. They didn't speak Spanish. They had their own language. After them, then we have the Yavapai and Apache people. The Yavapai Nation and the Apache Nation are here on this land. I'm about 25 minutes away from the reservation or the tribal land of our family. I call them my family because I do sit with them. And so the Yavapai Apache are part of the people here along with other indigenous nations, but they are the main source of energy and the prayers and their ceremonies. So with that, I honor them. The water that I walk from here comes from the Verde River, and the watershed comes from different parts of the Colorado River that flows to the north, in the Gila River that flows in the south. But the Verde River is the only river that flows through Arizona with many of its tributaries. And it's to honor the sacred waters that we're also here to do today. So with that, I ask, most of us have some water that we usually carry with us. If you don't, go ahead and get some water. Take a moment, and most of these circles start off with "Take a breath with me," okay? And I love that because we are from the One Breath family. Today, I will also let you know that we're also from the Water Tribe. If there's any commonality between all of us from wherever we are in any part of the world, we are made up largely of water. And so with that, bear with me for the next 5 minutes or so, I think was time-wise, that we are going to hold this as you drink. Take your last drink and hold it under your tongue so that the elements of the sacredness of water and all its power goes right into your bloodstream. And connect with me. Let's become the one water. Let's become the oneness of all things. Drink now. Mm. If you would come back from the flowingness of the sacred realm, this is our time. And just to let you know, as I sat, this is what people call Native American spirituality, just as regards to that. We sat long times ago in meditation, and we didn't know that later on, in many eons beyond those times, it would be referred to as meditation. We sit in the stillness, we sit in the silence, and we shed this outer earth suit, as Chief Phil Lane refers to, one of my elders, and we go from the within, and we become a part of everything in that stillness and silence. And we spend that time with our Creator. That Creator has many names. In my teachings on Lakota, it is Tukashila, and the one of all things of creation, Wankatanka. So in the waters, one of the first beautiful beings of visions that came to me was the whale nation pass through. And I saw the dolphin nation coming through the waters. I have swum with the dolphin people. We are related. And now that we are doing this from Long Beach, the many dolphin pods run about. And the special people, of course, the Chumash and the Tongva and the Quiche people, these are their direct relatives. And so we pay respect there with that. In our
Wow.
yes, no, go right ahead.
No, I just want to thank you. Thank you so much, Daniel. And as I had my eyes closed and was sitting, I thought, wow, this is a long time, but it actually wasn't that long. And I think I'm not used to meditating. I am used to my prayer, from the Buddhist tradition is a chant. So I'm used to chanting for long periods of time, but I'm not used to the, what you call stillness. But I wanted you to know that I did feel the stillness, which was remarkable. And I do understand that it's an inner experience. And I just, because we have, so many people here today that joined, can we just take 1 minute and ask, what other people's experiences are before you continue? Just anybody that wants to share, you don't have to share, but if you would like to share just for, like 30 seconds, a minute, what your experience was.
Please,
I would love to hear it.
This is the sharing circle. I don't talk anymore. I've stopped talking because that comes from here. And at least for me, what's been spoken. So I share heart. And when we're in a circle, every voice needs to be heard. Every heart has to give voice to what is being given. So we all learn, we all teach, and we all show each other our interconnectedness of the oneness. So please, family, step in. You're already there.
So Chief, so let me test my understanding, and maybe there aren't any, how we were supposed to do it or anything like that. But were we supposed to hold that last gulp of water during the whole meditation?
That's one of the times, yes.
Okay, so that's what I did. And what I noticed was that how my own water, my saliva, joined to that water I was holding in my mouth. And I assume that everybody also, so it's kind of like how we're all joining the common water, and how much my body wanted to swallow that water. That was the hardest part during that time. And I'm sure if I became more practiced, I'd be able to, but then how we all want to, it's our natural physical experience that we all want to take in that common water, that each of us want. So that's two of the things that I observed during that I wanted to share.
Wow, what a good point, Cheryl. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else?
Well, I enjoyed it immensely. Being an only child, it's easy for me to sit in silence and have no thoughts. And only as I got older and was exposed to different styles of prayer and meditation and so forth and so on, which all have tremendous value, chanting and prayer. But it was validating for me because this was my sort of own personal. When people say, do you meditate? To my close friends, I say, yes, I can sit and look out a window. That was my first meditation. And it has great value to me, but this has made me aware of the value that this is to Indigenous people. I feel more connected because it always feels like the world drops away and there's just the spirit.
Very nice. It sounds like you made that connection, Summer.
As
Chief Ramos was talking about, it's a direct connection to the creator, I think is what you said. So it sounds like you made that connection.
I don't know, but it was good.
Thank you so much for sharing. So
I think Monica had something to
Yeah,
Monica, yes, please
in
go ahead.
I'm again from the Zoroastrian Zarathustra religion, and in my daily prayers also, I have a little, vessel in which I have water, and like when we remember our departed souls, also we have water and flowers, as main things, besides some other, there's a plant kingdom, vegetable kingdom, all that kind of thing. And so I actually, when you ask for us to take a little bit of water, I took water from that vessel, which I used as my prayer last night, and I held that gulp also. And then I was, of course, thinking about, how in interfaith, we are also now, kind of thinking about water as a sacred element, an important element. And just last Sunday, we had a ceremony at the beach, in Huntington Beach, called Blessing of the Waves, in which we all expressed our, importance of water and how we should keep it clean and pure, type of thing. So, yeah, so that was my little resonance over there.
beautiful.
Nice.
And Chief Ramos, I have to say, it's interesting. There's things that tie us together as different faith communities, and as Muslims, we pray 5 times a day, right? There's these specific times where you pray, and ideally those should be time in which you're in deep meditative state, right? But because of the nature of just the world and things to do and the to-do list being longer and longer and things like that, you find yourself doing your prayers, but then it's kind of like, okay, let's do our prayers and then that's it, right? So when I was sitting there, I was thinking that I was like, seldomly do we just kind of stop and just sit and be still, and it's something that I think I can only speak for myself, but I think it's something that it takes effort now, right? Where I think it's something that should be very natural, but I think because of just how we condition ourselves in the world that we live in to be still and just to be still and quiet. So it just reminded me of how important that is. So thank you for that.
Welcome. It's one of the things too, is that we were doing so. I was also still burning our smudge. And so we were actually in prayer and meditation in the same moment. Because in our cultures, we recognize that smoke is the tangible evidence of prayer. And so the ancestors' prayers from this beautiful are going out with us, our heart vibration and frequency and such. We all come from indigenous peoples. It's not about being a tribal card or enrollment of a tribe. We're all part of one tribe. I like to believe that we are the water tribe. We are the four sacred elements of people. And so the prayers and meditation, and I'll share this with you. I do some running, some jogging still, and in my time, and carry prayers for indigenous peoples and our causes. But in those times, when you get into that zone, sometimes they call it maybe a runner's high. But I've been told since I've left the place of racing people in 5Ks and 10Ks and half marathons, and I come to a place that I am in, when I'm in that movement of life, all the sacred elements I am, as you are, in that movement of life, because we were meant as beings designed to be in movement, to take care of all things. And in that movement, I get into that place and I'm still in motion. You can be in the stillness while you're in motion. It's an amazing feeling to be in that sacred space, and yet you're in that doing. You're caring, you're working, you're helping somebody, but in that conscious, subconscious, unconscious connection of the one tribe people, we are all connected. I actually not only connected with the waters and the whale people and the dolphins, I could feel my heart beating in simultaneous synchronicity with some of you that are out there this morning. I felt that rhythm of oneness, like the drum, all beating together in one synchronicity of beat. And they say, Creator lies in between each beat. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's so amazing. I love that because, we do as interfaith, we try to, actually, understand each other's, different faith traditions, even though we grew up probably with our own faith tradition, and we're used to thinking in a certain way. But that's why I love the council, because I get exposed to many different, faiths other than my own. And I try to, really understand them. But your way of understanding is to me, it's such a deeper way. And there is, of course, the educational part, but I want to learn everything. And then, and that's important too. But there's like a deeper kind of like understanding on a humanistic level or spiritual level. I think that's what you're talking about. So, yeah. And the Buddhists would say that kind of awareness means that you're enlightened. That's what the Buddhists would say. What you were just talking about. You know what? We are almost like out of time. Well, I think we are maybe out of time, but we are here, today for Long Beach Gives. And I just want to say, and Chief Ramos, correct me if you don't think so, but I think this connection is also giving. Because if you connect with people, you're giving them the gift of your presence. And I was just talking to my mom this morning. She's back in the hospital, and she can't even talk on the phone for very long, poor thing, It's even hard for her to hold the phone, So she said, just I have to go, but thank you for calling. And I was reminded about how many times people say, you did something good for me just by being here. Just by being here with me. So that's what, Chief Ramos, that's what I got out of, today's meditation. Stillness and connection. That's what I got out of it. And I'm so happy, because I really feel that it is an interfaith thing. But I'd like to invite Amelia to talk more about Long Beach Gives and wrap us up.
Sure. Thank you so much, Patty. Chief Ramos, thank you so much. It's such an honor to always be in your presence, be it with this illusion of a screen between us, right? Or in person. But we're so honored and we're so grateful, and we ask that you keep us in your prayers and in your thoughts as we journey through this life together. As Patty said, this is again part of our Long Beach Gives week of programs where we are just trying to kind of highlight or show a little glimpse of what the SCIC does insofar as the programs we do and what we do in really bringing people together. You know, I was looking at the little, we've gotten so accustomed to looking at these little boxes of images, you know, and I saw Monik and I was like, oh, there's Monik. He's from the Zoroastrian faith. Summer's from the Baha'i faith. Sarah, Abby and I, we share the Muslim faith, and Cheryl's there from the Christian faith, and Patty's SGI Buddhist. And here we have Chief Ramos, and, you know, from the Native American. And I think that's such a beautiful thing. And I think that's something that so I find myself taking it for granted, you know, and because it's also very rare as someone who's kind of migrated all throughout America, starting from the middle to the East Coast, now to the West Coast. It's such a unique thing, and it's such a gift to be amongst people that honor each other, but at the same time, we are deeply devout to whatever our faith tradition is, and that's a gift. So for those of you who are out there, again, you know, today is actually the day where the Long Beach Gives is kind of like a week, but they have a specific day, which is the day of giving. And so today is actually bookmarked as that day. So 24 hours for people in the community just to give back to these nonprofits that provide services for everyone living just not in Long Beach, but really all throughout. So we ask you to, if you're able to, please donate what you can so that we can continue conversations and programs like this. Our goal is actually 25,000, and I think I was just glancing at the phone real quickly, and I think we're right about 15,600. So we have a little bit to go. So please know that, you know, no donation is too small, and certainly no donation is too big. Every little bit counts, and we're so grateful for that, and we're so grateful for your support. I think I'll do the flyer, and then at the end, I'll ask if anyone else wants to share anything. So today's program, that's right. So we have done thus far, we started Monday, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So this is our 10th program. So we've just finished our 10th event, and what's coming up today are the dinosaurs. And so, you know, the dinosaurs are hitting the streets of Long Beach. And so to find out what that means, tune in to us at noon today, and we'll talk about that. Tonight is actually one of our core programs. Every fourth Thursday of the month at 7 p.m., we have what's called the Religion 101 initiative in the program. And today it will be Reverend Elena Larson, who is from the United Church of Christ, and she'll be talking about the UCC and the Congregational Church. What does that mean? What are their practices? So that's tonight at 7 p.m. And then tomorrow is our concluding day of our week-long of programs. In the morning, we'll have some meditation from the Buddhist faith community. And then at noon, we'll gather and we'll kind of rewind and recap and reflect on this week and express our gratitude to everyone for their time and their support and for just being a part of the SCIC family. So we welcome you to please join us for the remaining of the programs. Know that all of the programs that we did, they're on our YouTube channel as well as Facebook page, so you can always go there and visit past programs as well. Anyone would like to add anything else before we say we will meet again in a little bit?
Millie, could I ask a question?
Of course.
And first of all, Chief Ramos, thank you so much again for me, listening to you always reminds me to just slow down.
Yeah.
Just to slow down and think about my breath and about the swallow a little bit more intentionally. Thank you. I had a question. Indigenous Day is coming up. how do we figure, I'd like to find an opportunity for our young people to honor that day in some manner, if it's appropriate. So if you could maybe share your thoughts on the Indigenous Day, and how do we find out if there's an opportunity in Long Beach?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know about what Long Beach may be doing as far as things go. I'm so grateful, first of all, happy fall solstice to everyone again. And we've just had our full moon, our grandmother moon. But Indigenous Peoples Days has been something that's been carried in the hearts of Indigenous peoples who have really followed the purpose of acknowledging our origin, our connection to one another in all things. I personally, in years past, have always made the journey to Alcatraz, where there is a amazing gathering of the Ohlone people who are cousins of the Tongva and the Chumash, where before dawn, the boats were free, take people across to the island, an indigenous circle with many children, people in the regalias, big fire goes, and we wait for the sunrise. The sunrise comes over the lighthouse. And when that happens, we all join together in the elation and jubilation that we are all present as the many nations of people in the oneness of who we are. It's our celebration of acknowledging Indigenous peoples from the very beginning of 1490 through the time that the Westerners stepped upon our continent, and in Turtle Island, we acknowledge that. That's a beautiful ceremony. Something of that maybe smaller nature can be done there. You might check with Tony Serta, Uncle Tony Serta from the peoples of the Bear Clan out in Pomona. They usually make that journey, but you can check to see whether they're present. Long Beach, it would be good to celebrate not only the Indigenous Peoples Day, but connect it also as we all, and you have already just spoken about connecting it with our children to help them to remember their ceremonies, to bring back those times that we stood together. What we've been doing this morning, just to share with you brief, just a moment, is that we've been mending the sacred hoop of life, which has been broken for almost 500 years. We're all part of the mending of the sacred hoop. And that's the hope that we are living with today, because hope is eternal. And I'll share with you, just to close my remarks and my sharing heart time, from Black Wolf, from his readings of the Healing Drum. There's a saying that came from his heart. And I'll share that with you because it impacts me in a most beautiful, amazing way. Change, as we know, is the only constant in the universe. But what Black Wolf shares is that change is the silk of our cocoon. It is the garment we wear to the wedding of self and the spirit world. We are constantly metamorphosizing and evolving. And it is acknowledging the sacredness of the wedding of self to the spirit and the creator, that we walk together as the one. One heart, one love, one breath, one song, one dance, one prayer. Aho matakigasen. Peace. Itamukala. Thank you so much for allowing me to be present today and extending your time. Grateful. Aho.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much again, Chief Ramos. And I looked up Tony Serta, I believe you said. Tony. And the last name is Serta?
Yes, C-E-R-D-A.
Oh, okay. I was misspelling it. I looked it up, but Tony C-E-R-D-A of the Bear Clan. Okay, thank you for that information. And I believe this is going to be it for today. I thank everybody for coming. Oh my gosh, this is such a good way to start the day. Don't you think?
Yes. One love, one
and
heart.
Don't forget, all day long, you can, Sarah, thank you for putting in the link for Facebook, but all day long, you can donate through Long Beach Gives. And we really appreciate your generosity. Oh my gosh, this week, I have talked to so many people that have gone out of their way to donate to South Coast Interfaith Council. Even if they, you know, they were stymied by the donation button, they made their way to me with a check, hand-delivered check, just amazing stuff like that. So thank you, Long Beach community. Thank you, Chief Daniel Ramos. I love everyone.
All right. We'll see you this afternoon. Take care.
Blessings, everyone.
You too.